Happy
Hey,
Friday Eve.
it's you and the Friday Eve. It's true though. It is Friday Eve, and it's Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our podcast. Thanks for listening, thanks for viewing, and thanks for liking us. Feel free to, well, we want to be liked. We just want
We,
to be liked.
we just want to be accepted into your daily.
Yeah, yeah, and that will help out the show immensely. So if you want to like or follow or subscribe, please feel free to do so after we deliver a fantastic program today on Friday Eve.
Yes, that's really Thursday. In case you were trying to figure out what's Friday Eve. Um, Kurt, I got to
Yes,
go see Peter Pan at the Paramount Theater last night.
yes, you did.
It it runs through Sunday. It has shows every day, sometime twice a day. It
Right,
is so good. Like I was looking forward to seeing that as a stage production, as a musical,
right.
and it exceeded my expectations. Like,
Is this the new Peter Pan where everybody dies at the end?
no, it is not.
There is no new Peter Pan where everybody dies at the end.
Um, it was just so good. And if you it's I mean it's I want to say bring your kids, but it's not
Right.
a kids show. But there were a lot of kids in the audience last night, and that was even fun seeing them giggle so much because it was just a cute, well done show. Captain Hook was awesome, and this has me as soon as Pixie Dust gets thrown out, I'm like I'm in.
Hmm.
There's lots of pixie dust.
Well, why would you say it's not really just for kids, or is it not? Is it more? Go up, please explain.
I don't want people to think, oh, I'm not gonna go because it's a kid, like it's a kid musical. No, it's
Oh,
not. It's a full on musical production.
okay. For the
That
whole family.
that's exactly right. Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
it's so worth seeing. And the weather this weekend isn't supposed to be phenomenal. So if you're looking for something to do, grab your date, grab the family, go because
You're right.
it's worth seeing. I mean, it's just a fun, it's Peter Pan for crying out loud. There's
Right.
flying. There's flying.
There's flying. Well, our old friend Stephen Kilbreth also went last night, and he gave it high reviews, high remarks as well. So that's two people that love it. That's 100% of people that I know love Peter Pan. That's
It's
a really a great endorsement.
yeah, it seriously is it's good. It's good. Tell us about the birthdays, Kurt.
Oh yeah, this is one of those days where there's a bunch of birthdays in the music industry. Starting with Dua Lipa, 29 years old today.
She's young.
Dua Lipa. I told a joke on the air one time, and people believed it, and I felt badly about it because I just, yeah, I guess just to add to the story, every now and again you're trying to do something different on the air, so you might say instead of saying the same thing over and over, like, well, here's Dua Lipa. Of course, her name means two lips in Spanish, which is not at all the case. Dua Lipa. I thought it was a horrible joke, but I had somebody call and they're like, "Are you for real?" It's like, no, that's not what it means. So
I would have believed you. I was believing you. So it doesn't
exactly,
mean that.
I thought it was obvious, but I guess I was wrong. So my apologies for that one. Howie D of the Backstreet Boys is 51.
Okay.
Uh, One of my all-time favorites, Tori Amos. You might remember a sort of fairy tale or cornflake girl. She is 61. Debbie Peterson from the Bangles. Any idea?
How old she is?
Yeah.
I mean, Bangles from the 80s. So in the 80s, she was probably like
Mhm.
20. So she's got to be in her 60s.
63. Yeah. And still looks great. Roland Orzabal from Tears for Fears is 63.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Their music has me head over heels. Yes. Jeez. We're awful. And also today is National Burger Day, and on the same day, it's National Tooth Fairy Day.
And now you know.
What do you do for National Tooth Fairy? Are we celebrating our tooth fairy, or is it
Yeah,
you know,
you just believe in fairies. That was one of the messages in Peter
Peter
Pan
Pan?
last night. That every time you stop believing in a fairy dies. So
Oh
believe.
my God, that's that, really a
Yeah,
fairy dies.
when
All
you
right,
stop,
I
but
thought.
that's true. I mean, think about it. If you stop believing in
Hmm.
the magic, a fairy dies. So that's kind of true. So believe in your fairies. Like believe in the magic.
Well,
I
wasn't that old? Was it from the Christmas movie? Every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings, or something like that. See,
Yeah.
that's lighthearted and fun. But if you stop believing in fairies, a fairy dies. I
It's
don't like it.
true. Here's the thing. Here's the message about it. If you stop believing in the magic, it's going to go away, right?
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so on the way home in the perfect mom fashion that I do, because I went with Riley and my oldest daughter, and then my friend Lori. I was saying I didn't like, and this is not a spoiler alert because I think if you know
Yeah.
this Peter Pan, but you don't get to go to Neverland when you're an adult.
Hmm.
Most it's because you stop believing and your imagination starts to go away and all the things, right? And that made me really sad.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like, I still believe in all of that.
heck yeah. But I'm
And
I'm not saying I don't believe. I'm just, well, here's the thing. Was that always the story of Peter Pan? Is if you stop believing in fairies, they die? Or is that a new thing?
I don't remember. I
It's
feel
been
like
so long since, I mean, I think I saw Peter Pan when it was, I mean, I don't remember even who was in the movie version, but that's
hmm.
all I've seen. So
Anyway, I was
anyway,
just saying the magic lives in the kindness that you show to others and in the joy that you put out in the world and in the love that's shared between people. So, it's out there. You just gotta don't stop believing. As
don't stop believing.
in the words of Journey, don't stop believing.
Well, from that into I'm just gonna, let's just talk about this one time and then done with it, right? One and done. Is that okay?
Yes, please, because I didn't even want to bring it up because I care this much, 0% about this.
We can just skip right over it.
No, go ahead and say it.
Why Jennifer Lopez reportedly filed for divorce from Ben Affleck. And this doesn't even answer that question. All right. So it feels like to me, in this case in particular, they're making a real mockery of the whole marriage thing. And I'm not one of these people like, oh, I mean, yeah, if it's not the right relationship and it's a problem, yes, you can get divorced. Obviously, it's a good thing to have for relationships that don't work out. However, these guys have been on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again, engaged, unengaged, married, and not getting divorced.
Blah, blah, blah,
Apparently,
blah, blah.
apparently, Jennifer was the one to file for divorce. J-Lo was the one who did the filing because it says here, quote, she was done waiting
For what?
him to file, I guess. It says the source added, Jen tried really hard to make things work and she is heartbroken rather. She's disappointed and sad, but Ben hasn't given her any signs that he wants to continue their marriage. That's no good. That's a bad thing for a marriage.
You got to
So
have two
apparently,
people. You got to have two people who want to make it work. That's for sure.
yeah. But there's nothing in here like, somebody cheated on somebody or whatever, just it needed to happen and she got tired of waiting. So that's the end of that. I'm going
Okay.
to actually delete this from our sheet,
Don't
never to talk about it
don't
again.
delete it. Don't delete it. I was reading, just doing some like research for what to talk about in the show, and yesterday I saw
Mhm.
this story that Chick-fil A has a new elevated drive-through concept, and so this is what I thought. This is why I clicked on the story. I'm like, is there like an elevator, or is it high? Like, is it a two-story drive-through?
Oh,
No, not elevated that way. Just it's like expanded. And
yeah,
so
they're using the word
now,
elevated loosely. Yeah, so I
yeah,
was thinking the same thing. They'll have two drive-throughs in the bottom, and you go up a ramp, and there's another two
that
drive-throughs in this.
that's what
Yeah,
I was thinking. But
that's
no,
not it.
that is not it. They're just having they're trying out the concept of multiple lanes in some of the cities that they're in. So that there's like two of the lanes are mobile pickup lines, designated as mobile pickup lines, and two of them are the traditional drive-throughs. So you
Wow.
have four drive-throughs, and I'm imagining they can change it as needed, right? If they don't have a lot of mobile orders, maybe they change the other one to traditional. I don't know. It's good though. It takes up a lot. It's a big footprint though, if you have
Well,
lanes.
but hopefully it'll do something about. I have never seen. I mean, I've never seen when we got the Chick-fil-A here. The first one I think was the one in Linwood, maybe,
Mm-mm, it was
and
Bellevue, but yes,
oh
okay.
yeah, but I've never seen anything before where you had to bring, off-duty police officers in to guide traffic. And I mean, it was, the lines wound up onto the road and back onto the freeway practically. That was, they're good though. They are
They're
the
good, and
food
it's
is
only
good.
because we didn't have Chick-fil-A's. I mean, there's not that problem now that they're established in our area, right?
Well, there's still long lines, so maybe this will help out with that. But how many days do we have two Chick-fil-A stories?
Oh, there's another one? Tell
Second
me.
Chick-fil-A story. Chick-fil-A is launching a streaming service.
What?
Okay. They've been working with Hollywood studios and production companies to create content. Chick-fil-A is looking to showcase family-friendly content, mostly unscripted stuff like game shows, reality TV, but there's also room for scripted projects and animation. So no word when this might happen, but think about it. Instead of a Netflix and chill, you're going to say, I'm just going to go home and Chick-fil-A and chill.
Okay. That
Well,
seems weird that they're going into that business.
so yeah, so Chick-fil-A will be like Hulu and Netflix and
That's
Apple TV,
interesting.
whatever. They're going to have their own streaming service. So
That is crazy to me. All right. Well, good for Chick-fil-A for expanding their horizons. I mean, they might, I mean, I hope we're not going to say you should just stick to chicken.
yeah, well, we don't know, but there's so many. I mean, there's so many streaming services now. I suppose there must be a profit in it somewhere for Chick-fil-A,
Right.
because
I
Peacock
don't
and all those things.
I don't agree with this next thing we're about to talk about because I'm up for an adventure and I'm primed for an adventure at any
Oh
time, at
yeah.
any age, by the way.
According to this survey, the perfect age to go on an adventure, and let me just say, they don't explain or define adventure, but it sounds like it's a vacation to, maybe a cool place or
No, it sounds
whatnot.
like it's more than that, isn't it? They did
This
like
one,
a
well, here's an
vacation,
example.
more
This was
like a really an adventure, like dressing up as the
this one.
example they use, like being a hobbit hired as a burglar to go to Lonely Mountain and reclaim stolen treasures from a dragon. What?
But you could treat any vacation like that. We're going to Minneapolis to discover blah blah blah. You're just going to the Mall of America.
Okay.
But the answer was the perfect age to go on an adventure, they say, is 42.
Nonsense.
Saying
Nonsense,
that
I tell ya.
it would be hard to find someone under 25 who would turn down a road trip, but our sense of adventure continues in the middle age, and the survey found the perfect age to go on an adventure is 42. There you go. It's like a road trip. I guess they're saying an adventure is a road trip more so than a
Getting on a plane and flying somewhere.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're in the 1 in 3 people, Jen, that say they've become more adventurous with age. Although you were always adventurous
I
like
was
that.
just gonna say, I don't know about it. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, let's go on a hike and go adventure in the woods. That's not my kind of adventure.
Right. What is your kind of adventure? Peter Pan?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if that counts as an adventure, but
Maybe I'm not an adventurer. Maybe I like to think I'm an adventurer, but really I'm not.
well, your eyes light up anytime. And this is one of the great things about you, Jen, is like, somebody will say, hey, yeah, maybe we should do this. And you're like, oh my God, yeah, we're going to do this and this and this. And I'm going to arrange this. We're going to bring this and do this and this and this. You're really good about
I'm a rallier, Curt. I'm the rallier of people. That's what I like to say because what I hate the most is
mhm.
someone coming up with a brilliant idea and then not making it happen. So if someone's like, maybe we should go do this. Yes, we should. But then then it just sits stale right there. So I'm like, all right, what's the date? What works for everyone? Let's put on the
Mhm.
calendar. Let's go.
I know you're talking about me sometimes because they'll say, what would be fun is this. You're like, oh, let's make it happen. I'm like,
And
nah.
I just, I'm just, it just sounds better than doing it. I'm just going to talk about it, not be about it.
How excited are you for this? And I know that the answer is zero, because you are not a PSL lover, but the pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks today.
Can we? Okay, this is the question I have about this because I saw this and I'm like, are you? I'm gonna say this effing kidding me right now. It
Yeah,
is
this
August.
this is the earliest, just so people know, this is the earliest that the pumpkin spice latte has ever returned. This day, what are we at here? August 22nd?
It's
Yeah.
really supposed to start like September 22nd. That's when it's really supposed to start. When it's fall. When
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is I'm gonna channel my inner Lori friend. You know Lori, who is the health
Mm-hmm.
coach, and her big one of her big platforms is eat and exercise and do all the things. Do all the things for the season, right? Our
Right.
bodies are not ready for pumpkin spice lattes.
Well, some would argue, why not have it all year long?
That's what I'm trying
Oh,
to figure out. Does it really taste as good in August as it does on a cold fall day
you
in,
know what?
say, I don't know, October?
That's a good point. Perhaps there is a mental aspect to it as well, that if you're surrounded by leaves changing color and a brisk morning with little frost, and you're like, this is really making this taste that much better.
I mean, I think that there's something to be said about that. And I did
Yeah,
not know that the pumpkin spice latte turns 21 this year. I'm glad it's legal. Are we adding alcohol to it now?
it's legal. It started in 2003. Well, in case you're interested, Starbucks lovers, the fall menu also has one new drink, and here's a long name for this new addition. I guess this is going to be out Maybe this will be out on September 22nd when it's actually fall. It's called the Iced Apple Crisp Non-Dairy Cream Chai.
Okay.
Iced
Say
Apple
that again.
Crisp
Iced apple crisp,
Non-Dairy
non-dairy
Cream
cream chai.
Chai. And apparently there's also a new raccoon cake pop. Oh, Jen's like, ooh, I got to try that.
Well, I want to know more about the raccoon cake pop. What's that all about? It's just shaped as a raccoon, or is there like a different flavor inside? Like, is
I
there,
don't know if it's raccoon flavored or not. Okay. I'm not sure about that.
they're not putting raccoons in it? Raccoon,
Probably not. I imagine it's a cake
raccoon
pop shaped like a
roadkill?
raccoon.
I mean, here's the thing about this pumpkin spice latte. I mean, Starbucks should really consider, since it is 21, playing off of that and adding, I don't know what would be good in that. Some, what do you put with pumpkin? Bourbon, maybe? Whiskey?
Or like a flavored rum.
I don't know. They should do some kind of play on that. Like, we're 21. Here's how we're rolling now.
What happens now, Jen, if they do that and you're going to claim responsibility for the idea and you're going to get 0%? You're going to get none of the take.
Well, that's all right.
That's all right.
All
Are you
right.
surprised by this next headline?
Oh, what? What's it?
That
Oh,
getting married?
getting married helps men live longer. Okay, so wait, hold on. Before I say the rest of this headline, I didn't read the whole headline, right? And I just read the first line that said a study found one major thing can help men live longer, and that's getting married. And I was going to send that line to Pat saying, honey, if it means I can live with you even longer, then let's do this.
Nice. You're so
But then I
mushy.
read the whole headline saying it doesn't help women.
The whole headline is getting married helps men live longer, but not women. This is a 7,000 person study in Canada. They found over several years, men who were married or who got married during the study were twice as likely to age optimally, as they said, to age optimally compared to guys who stayed single. And they defined optimal aging as not having any serious physical, mental, or emotional issues that kept them from living a happy life into old age. That's for the guys.
Is Bella, hold on, we got to pause. For those watching this on YouTube, Bella the Beagle is wandering in your background. Is she okay? She keeps like wandering back and forth. Okay.
She's on her bed. Can you
She
see her
was
there?
wandering. She wandered a couple times. Hi, Bella. Okay, that is all. I just was
That's nice.
making
I
sure she's
appreciate your
okay.
concern. She's actually just a little TO'd, as they say, in Napoleon Dynamite, because she hasn't had her breakfast yet.
Oh yeah, this is
So she
late.
wants us to hurry this up. So
Okay.
back to the thing. The ironic thing, maybe it's not ironic. Funnily enough, women who got married did not see any huge health benefits. It didn't seem to hurt either, but they did not see the health benefits that the men saw from being married. The author of the study thinks it's because women just tend to have more experience maintaining their health and well-being independently. In other words, they don't need the help.
It doesn't. So women still. I mean, okay, I get it. So, all right. Well, great.
How is this a sentence? That being said, something men can do to help their wife live longer is just don't die, guys. Which I've been told because, I mean, maybe people don't know this, but my wife is a widow. Her first husband passed away when she was 30 and he was 29. And so I am husband number two. But she has used those words
wife
on me.
number two to you, to be fair.
That's true. Yeah. I'm not saying anything bad about it.
Number twos.
She says, you're not allowed to die. My first husband did, so you're not allowed to die. I was like, okay, I can live with that. But
well, I think that all those studies, to be serious about that, like men doing women a favor who are married not to die, there's a whole bunch of studies, and I can't cite any specific one, but I've read a lot about this stuff, is that when you have a lifelong companion, you live longer, period. I mean, just that's what the research says. Does that mean that's 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But, the sense of community, like my friend Laura, I'm going to bring Lori up again because she's really rubbing off on me. And
it's the Lori story.
We've had this conversation with her too. Like, whenever it's proven that your sense of community is just as important as moving your body and eating healthy, because I think that it just engages your brain and your overall like sense of belonging and connection and all the things that help keep you healthy. So
yep.
Yeah. Curt, don't die. That's what I tell Pat. I said, don't F this up and don't die.
Two F-bombs from Jen in one show. But technically not an F-bomb. You just say F this up.
Yeah.
Um, I like this because you're just talking about the benefits of being married on your mental health. And this is a little quick deal here that I saw this and I wanted to share that it's a country singer, Chris Young. You've heard of him.
Absolutely.
He's been in the music industry for a long time, travels all around doing shows, but he still prioritizes his mental health. And he was recently interviewed, and he was asked about this is part of a mental health initiative on the show called "I'm Listening," and
I
he
love
listed
that, by the way. I
"I'm
mean,
Listening" is
I
the
love
name of the
that.
show.
Odyssey isn't Odyssey a radio? It's a radio company.
Yeah,
I mean, they do a lot of things, but audio is, radio. So I'm listening.
Great name.
As a marketer, I love that.
Country singer Chris Young listed three things that help keep him in a positive mental space, and the first one is, I could not agree more, spending time with my dog.
Aw.
And I think people right away go to, well, what about your family? It's like, well, okay, there's benefit. That's number
They are
two.
your family.
Making time for my family and friends, he says, and also going to the gym. But the benefits of being with your dog or your pet I think are underreported, and not enough people spend time talking about this. There's a great, and I'm not going to do the whole quote here because I know that he's a bit controversial. Ricky Gervais, the comedian, has this awesome thing about how perfect dogs are, that he's like, I could not have created anything better if I had the ability, and all the, it's just like they're the perfect little thing. So I agree with Chris Young. Spending time with my dog is his top mental health things that keep him in a positive mental space, along with the family and friends and going to the gym.
Of
So
course. Yeah, that's awesome.
and well, it turns out that Chris has a close relationship with his dog. His dog's name is Porter. Porter
Porter.
the dog. And Porter is now somewhat of an internet celebrity because Porter has 76,000 followers,
Oh
which makes me
my
feel
gosh.
kind of lame with our followers. No offense, but the dog has 76,000 followers. Porter.
If only we were dogs, we'd have more followers.
Hmm. Okay, there's a downside to that as well, but we would have more followers. We asked yesterday,
Oh, this is good. You guys, thanks for showing up again. I love
Mhm.
this.
What can you not wrap your head around? So what can't you wrap your head around, no matter how many times it's explained to you?
Yeah.
Right? I
Yes.
had one, and it'll come to me. Of course, I should have written it down
Of course you should have.
or put it in my
Okay, I'm gonna
notes.
go through some of these. Jennifer said what Earth looked like 1,000,000+ years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Barb
Good one.
said reading EKGs.
Right.
Is Barb's a nurse, isn't she? Is she a nurse?
She either still is or she's a retired nurse.
Okay. Marilyn, this is awesome. Marilyn said tying fish line on a hook. My husband has uh tried on and off to teach me for 39 years. I think I'm just blocking it out, so he'll have to do it for me.
Oh, there is that angle as well. Now, our friend Taryn wrote in why anybody cares about NFTs. Are you familiar with NFTs,
No,
Jen?
do you know what that is?
Well, this is a good example of something that has been explained to me that I still don't quite wrap my head around. The NFT stands for non-fungible token, if I'm even saying that right. And let me give you the definition of NFTs. A non-fungible token is a unique digital identifier that is recorded on a blockchain and is used to certify ownership and authenticity.
For
I
what?
think how it was explained to me was, let's say that you have a picture of yourself that you like or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to sell this picture, but I'm not going to take the photo and sell it as an actual something you can hold in your hand. If you want to sell your photo online, I know William Shatner did this kind
A
of stuff.
digital version of your photo if you're going to sell the digital version?
Yes, apparently. And you say, well, what's to keep people from just downloading it for free or making a copy? So apparently that was how it was explained to me. I don't know how accurate that is, but I still don't, get how you can make money on it or how people could not, I'm sure Randy will have something to say about this. Randy always has to chime in on, he's like, well, here's what an NFT does. And he's
Well,
usually
if
right.
he can explain it so we can understand it, I'm
Yeah.
in.
So Taryn had a great one. Why anybody cares about NFTs. Now here is Randy, by the way. He said quantum physics,
And
which,
how his behavior is inappropriate.
well, we know how his behavior is inappropriate. Come on, Randy.
That's
Uh, Amanda says, and these are the things that you can't wrap your head around no matter how many times it's explained to you. Amanda said, trying to figure out how to work deductibles when making insurance decisions. I'll tell you what, if I look at those kind of papers, even when we sign like contracts at the station and stuff like that, right away I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just signing. It's like this is going to be way too much to comprehend.
Oh,
I know it's
okay.
bad.
Melissa, I'm going to read a few more. Melissa said how TVs work.
Mhm.
Clay said calculus, and I agree with that. Jennifer
Jennifer's
said
answer,
airplanes. Legit,
airplanes.
yeah, I intellectually understand the concept of how it works, but it still seems like magic. I really think it makes more sense that either magic or fairies are somehow involved, maybe both. Yep,
That's
pixie
how
dust.
planes fly.
Pixie dust. What else?
Pixie dust. Really? All
Tell us
right.
more, Curt.
Kayla says how cell phones work.
Yeah.
Sandra Douglas says why we have to go to work. Well, it's been explained to me too. It's not an explanation. It's like I need to pay my mortgage. All
I
right.
I think that Matthews is funny. The what he says how
He's
come
Matthew. Matthew Swafford says, how come Lauren Swafford is always right?
about and so is always right, and how my son Eric is somehow powered by chicken nuggets.
Those are two that'll be hard to explain. I'm sure that Lauren has rational explanations as to why she's always right.
Lori says anything with ones and zeros.
Right. Kathy says thunder and lightning. Another thing that's, I suppose, challenging to understand, unless you're a meteorologist. Dean, thank you for your answer. Dean says Bitcoin.
That's one of my answers.
Mhm.
Cryptocurrency. I don't get it. I don't
It's been
understand it. I don't get it.
explained many times. Still can't wrap your head around that one. Bitcoin, I agree as well.
I love Tina's answer to
Go
this
for it.
question. So what baffles her, no matter how many times it's explained to her, how we can get 300 plus people in an airplane up in the air, but we can't figure out how to make ski boots comfortable to wear. Yes. Agreed,
Because
Tina.
there's no flexing to ski boots. They're just this big solid mass of plastic or whatever it's made out of. Yeah, not very comfortable. Leslie finally says, what I can't understand, no matter how many times it's explained to me, is why people return $2 bananas at Costco.
I mean, I would say I agree too.
Yeah, it's going to cost you more in gas to drive back to Costco to return your $2 bananas than to hold on to them. So
Oh my gosh.
love those
Those are
answers. Was
great
that a yawn
answers.
from
Love it.
Kirak? All
Yes.
right. And we still feel free to chime in on that one. Love to hear the things that you've been explained to you a lot of times, but you still just can't wrap your head around. That's out there for you to contribute to as well.
Did you remember what yours is?
No.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it'll come to me if I don't think about it so much.
All right.
On to this. America uses the most swear words online. Someone analyzed almost 2 million tweets from around the globe to see which countries swear the most online. It's not even close, apparently. The U.S. ranks first. We're number one. We're
You're
number
number
one.
two.
They used a
Okay.
list. This is from a list. They used a list of 1,600 swear words. I
That's
had
what
no
blew
idea.
my mind. I don't know 1,600 swear words.
I don't know if I know 16 swear words. So 4.2 Americans, 4.2% of America's posts include at least one dirty word. 4.2%, at least one dirty word. That might not sound like a ton, but second place swears more than 40% less than that. That's the UK. They're at 2.9% of their posts include swear words, followed by Australia at 2.7, New Zealand's in there, and Canada. There we go.
Wow.
Does that mean that we need to not be swearing as much in our texts and our posts, or are we just proud of the fact that we do?
I'm gonna say we should be proud of the fact that we do. That's what I'm gonna go with. The most foul-mouthed major city is Baltimore, and the most foul-mouthed state is Maryland. There you go.
They must be really upset about stuff.
I mean,
yeah, Washington didn't make any of these lists. Okay.
I mean, I'm surprised because I'm involved.
I know. You're getting out of control with today's program.
Okay, this is fun. This is very fun to me. The most popular family-friendly phrases for sex.
You had mentioned a little while ago that yeah, you were looking for excuses, ways to have excuses to get away from the other people and head back to the
Another
RV
home.
for some adult time, right?
Adult
So
interaction.
people are sharing online their favorite family friendly phrases for sex. Some of these I think are really dumb, but a lot of them are very funny.
You do? Okay, so I'm just gonna run through some of these. Hey, I'm gonna go take a nap.
Oddly enough, Dad's going with me to take a nap.
This is
Uh,
kind of weird. Let's help each other with our taxes.
mm-hmm.
I mean, Pat and I would be doing taxes a lot.
Stop it. Also on the list, having an adult meeting, sharing some quality time, moving furniture.
What?
We're gonna go. Yeah, hey, so we got to go move some furniture. That's to me. I'd be a little suspect of that. Okay, I know what's going on here.
We're going over insurance papers is one of them. Also, we're gonna go play hopscotch.
Mm.
I mean, won't the kids want to go with you to play hopscotch?
Also, that's kind of a giveaway.
You think?
Well, I mean, that's certainly more so than insurance papers. Hey, mom and me are gonna go play hopscotch, you guys. Don't come into the bedroom.
How about we're gonna go fold some laundry or go do some cardio?
Okay, those work. Um, who put trying to conceive?
I don't
That's
know. That's
basically,
obvious.
yeah, that's one of the on the list. Like, well, we're trying to conceive. Well, that's not a secret at all. Doing a team building exercise.
I mean, that's creative. Enjoying each other's company, you know, biblically. Loading, there's a lot of housework being done. We're loading the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't they be like, okay, we're right here in the living room. We can see that you're not loading the dishwasher.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
We can see in the kitchen.
so if you're gonna go fold laundry, your laundry better be on the top, you know, near your bedroom and not on the different
Exactly.
floor.
Somebody put knocking boots, which
Okay, that's obvious what you're gonna go do.
mhm,
Listening to
knocking
some
the boots.
Prince. What?
That's another euphemism. Yeah, that's another way you say secretly around the kids, we're gonna go get it on. It's like, hey, we're gonna go listen to some Prince music.
One person suggested letting the kids watch another episode. All right. You gotta
See,
keep
I told you they're not all great.
if you got it, if you've got kids you need to worry about, letting them watch another episode keeps them occupied while you occupy yourselves in a different way.
Okay, so
Do
you
you
actually
and
have to
Dana
let.
have a word? Do you and Dana have a phrase or a word when you're around others, or like if you're I don't know, like if you're at your family's house on vacation and you want to have a little
Uh,
nookie?
you know what? Honestly, it's not ever been an issue. So I would say no. Um, yeah, I think this is about getting away from. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, how about you? Because you do have kids.
We don't have one. I feel like we need to have one. I feel like it's like, oh, what's yours and Pat's song? Or what's your and Pat's like what's your phrase? Like it has to we need to have one. I'm gonna talk to him about that.
Okay, so you don't just go, come on, let's go.
Hey.
Hey,
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
come on.
How you doing?
That'd be a good one too. Yeah, so as we mentioned, if you have a family-friendly phrase for getting it on, one,
For
uh,
nookie.
let us know on all these different platforms. Please drop it in there. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. See if we find some new ones that maybe we can put into use.
I want new ones because I want some entertaining ones. Like, what's your secret code words? What is your secret phrases? Or what do you just say? Like when it's time to have some adult relations with your significant other and you don't want to think
Yes,
about it. I want you and Dana to have one too. Will you guys think of one together?
I would talk to her and see if we can come up with one because it sounds like we are on the hook to get this done. Um, yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, when you talk to her, maybe you guys can
Okay.
chat about that. All right. Have an awesome day. Thank you for spending some of your day with us. We love that we get to
Yes.
be part of your world. We do this every weekday. We post a new episode. So keep listening. And in the meantime, for the rest of your Thursday, make sure you're making good choices, finding that joy, and spreading kindness. Have a good one.